Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the Beyond Bitcoin show. Today is February the 23rd, 2020. Strong hand, unconfiscatable. That was yesterday. Now I'm back in LA. Wow. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Personal responsibility is new counterculture. Deferral of gratification, conviction, strive for greatness, ambition, avoid mediocrity, principles over practicality. Okay, yes, you're going to hear about it all today. Hello, my elite fit out. So was Boris and UK Bitcoin Master. It was a lot of fun. Hey, the thumbnail for this video currently is me at the unconfiscatable post party with a huge fan. She's a married woman, though, people. Don't go crazy now. But she watches the show. Her husband is a great guy. I'm not going to say who he is. He's an awesome dude. And I appreciated the story she told me about her fandom. Since you're a fan, I wanted to show one of the pictures you sent to me. It's sideways, whatever. I don't know if you can even see it now or if I'm going to get rid of it and show another one. But anyway, also, yesterday's show was not Beyond Bitcoin. We usually do the Beyond Bitcoin show on Saturday, but I was in Las Vegas and at Unconfiscatable, and we did a live show at night after the event. And Trace Mayer and American HODL were on my show. American HODL showed his face. So this is the Beyond Bitcoin show. We're doing the Beyond Bitcoin show on Sunday. So there's a lot to say about Trace Mayer and the event and everything. And we'll talk a little bit about it today. We'll get a little bit into Bitcoin. But Monday's show, we're going to talk about this. People, I am just catching up with all the drama you dudes created on Twitter, okay? Let's talk. Thursday, I was in Long Beach for an event down there that Gaston and then Long Beach people put on. Robert picked me up. I really appreciate the ride and the friendly people that are down there, the people who just came out to Long Beach to see me, hear me speak, fans of the show. It was an awesome experience. Without the positivity, it's going to come back to me. And it really has come back to me by the people who picked me up, who do me favor. I mean, who let me speak down there and people telling their personal stories to me. It is amazing. The vibe, the positive vibe. It is a superpower. We're going to talk about that in a second. Web City in Seattle says, great show yesterday, Bitcoin Meister. Thank you. And he's a friend of mine too. I do the positivity for him. He picked me up in Seattle back in 28. And we've become great friends here over the internet. Taval Dakris says, how old is that picture? Dude, did you listen to a word I just said? It's 1 day old. It's from yesterday. It's from Saturday. The beautiful woman who's a married woman to a great guy. We were at the post party. She came up to me and said how much she loved my show. And there was a witness there, another guy from Michigan who said he's a big fan of the show too. He's a great guy. I got to meet him yesterday. I really appreciate his support from when my father passed away and everything. And we spoke a little bit about that. And it's just a glorious honor to meet people in person who found out about my father from me, stories that I've told on here. And this is the personal day, right? So, well, it's supposed to be Saturday is the Beyond Bitcoin, but you get some insider Meister information here. And I'm telling you guys, if you bring out that positivity, it comes back to you. It really does. And the last few days, so yesterday, so I started my fast on Wednesday, because you guys know I don't when I travel, I fast. Even when dudes are picking me up in cars. By the way, Wednesday was the first time I was in a car since December, since I was in Baltimore. And that's how I avoid cars like that. I don't need Ubers. I run, I walk, I take the bus, the subway. Last night, I took the red line back home. Someone likes to say, ride that red line. I say, pound that like button for riding that red line. But I want to tell you, you guys are interested in how I run this life over here, how I run my life. So Thursday night, I came back home. Friday, I did the beautiful This Week in Bitcoin show. I went to synagogue on Friday night, and then I ended up in Las Vegas. I took a bus to Las Vegas. I ended up in Vegas at 2:30 in the morning, okay? 2:50 in the morning. And before then, at the very last minute, you guys remember on a few shows ago, I said, hey, if someone wants to hang out with me from 2:50 in the morning until 8 in the morning, I'm free in Las Vegas. Sure enough, a fan of the show for a long time contacts me. He's like, yeah, come to my house. You can take a rest there and we can have a consultation in the morning. So that's what happened. A great guy, a great fan of this show, who knows how to live the right lifestyle, baby. He minimalizes it. He didn't drive a fancy car to pick me up. He is an awesome dude. I slept on his couch. Then I don't care. Spread the word. But so then I get to the D, and I see Vortex there in person. I see Juan Galt, the great American Hodl was there, who I recognized because I saw him. I had that insider information, I knew what he looked like. But now all of you know what he looks like if you watched yesterday's show. So many people make it a big deal about it. Juan Galt gave me the Republica, a Boulevard, 20 Bolivars, which is, what's this worth? A Satoshi? I don't know what this is worth. This is real Venezuelan money for my Venezuelan friends out there. I got it. Thank you, Juan Galt, who's not Venezuelan, but he's awesome. Juan Galt, he is just like he is on the internet, dudes. He is a laid-back, cool dude, man. I had fun. He's a great dude. He'll make it on the show. Ugly Goat. It was a privilege to meet him too. I'm forgetting people. I guess we'll talk about it more. And that you saw the HODL stuff I was wearing yesterday. That dude's cool. So anyway, I just want to. So okay, I summed up my last. So I haven't eaten. I'm in. I guess I'm in the 92nd hour of a fast, and it took me a while to even get this show prepared because there's so much Twitter drama involved with yesterday's show. People have clipped it and sent it out, and you guys can check it. It's a waste of time. The drama is a waste of time. You got to be efficient, people. You got to be in motion, and we'll talk about that in a second here. So yeah, give out good vibes. You'll give them back. And if you want the high energy Meister, and everyone says, I mean, take my word for it. The guy you see right here is the guy you meet in person. Okay, so I will be in San Francisco. That's my next event. We'll keep it positive, dudes. We will keep it. And I know a lot of people say to me, "I watch your channel just because you have a positive attitude." That's great, dude. I'm glad I can do that. I'm glad I can do that for people. And because there are a lot of people, they look at the dark side of things. And Rock Ape 73 says, "Is Trace the MWC whale buying everyone's bag? If yes, thanks Trace for the free Bitcoin." Well, guys, it looks like there is a chance that the entity that I have been describing all along might be Trace Mayer. This is unbelievable news. And we'll talk about it tomorrow, I guess. You got to understand. So I got back. So I go to the post party last night. The scammies were pretty funny stuff. I mean, I'm sure some of you watched it. You know, it's Gracie and Thomas. I was on Thomas's show. Jimmy Song was on it with me. It was a good time. Check out WCN for that. But so right after the post party last night, I walk down. I get on a bus, take it back to LA. I'm back here at 5:30 in the morning. I get on the red line, the subway. I mean, some of you guys, why don't you take an Uber or a plane or whatever? You've got this Bitcoin. No, I'm saving that. The homeless to escape the cold. So I get back here at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. I don't know what time I got back here. I'm walking on Hollywood Boulevard on the Walk of Fame to get back here on the good part near La Brea. And it's surreal, man, because you know, in popular culture, you see all the names that are down there. And I'm walking there, 5:30 in the morning, the sun's coming up. That was 6 by then, yeah, because we got back. Yeah, by the way, the Flixbus, you know, if you want a Flixbus review, the drivers, oh man, he skipped the stop and he had to go back. And they're talking about other drivers that have destroyed other buses, not totally totaled them, but messed them up. So yeah, Flixbus is not as high quality as Megabus or Bolt Bus. I saw it again, but I slept off it all on the bus last night. And so I had to, once I finally got back here to where I'm staying in my Airbnb in lovely, off of La Brea here in the Orthodox neighborhood, I do what I usually do in the morning. I put on the tefillin and then I went to sleep now. And so I don't wake up till 1 in the afternoon. And now I feel good. I feel great. I can really don't feel the fast. But I needed sleep. You need to get that sleep. I really did need to get a good night's sleep or good after. And so then I turn on the computer finally. And I see everyone's going crazy about the video that went out yesterday. Saturday's video is like legendary all of a sudden. But the funny thing is, most people haven't even watched the whole thing, and you can tell that they've only watched the clip that Matt Odell tweeted out or whatever everyone's saying about it. People haven't even watched the whole darn thing. So you know what, people, it's always good to watch. I say this all the time, read the full articles, watch the full videos, just don't watch the little clips, because you get the whole thing there. So that's a little bit of the Meister lifestyle. And so now the fast will come to an end eventually. I got to do this, and I actually have to run a little bit more. I haven't got my 20 miles in yet. So that'll be a little controversial this on you. I got to run like 1 mile basically. But I feel great, and I love doing an over 72-hour fast. Supposedly it resets your immune system. So everybody that saw me yesterday, it was over 72 hours already yesterday when people were hanging out with me, and you can see the energy. You can see the energy level now, baby. So for those of you who say, "Oh, does a fast make you sick? Does a fast do?" No, a fast makes you awesome. All right, now, and I just Andy Hoffman wasn't there, obviously. Andy Hoffman, Vortex, Trace, Tone. These are all people in the Bitcoin space, okay? And you got to say, there's 4 dudes that I just met. They're all different, but I like them all. And that is being a Bitcoiner. When you can just say, you know what? I met Andy Hoffman in person. He is a personal friend of mine, okay? And all these people are ripping on Andy Hoffman for whatever. It's the FUD. It's so negativity. He's my friend. He's my friend. So you say what you're going to say. Vortex is my friend. I love seeing him in person and everything. He's a great guy. Trace we're great. I mean, we're very friendly. I mean, are we? I know him pretty well. He's a businessman. He is a business. What is he? Is he trying to destroy Bitcoin? Is he an evil villain or whatever? He's not. No, he's no villain. He's not. I mean, people are trying to say bad things about Trace. Trace has given me nothing but respect, baby. Trace has given me nothing but respect. Trace is a true Bitcoiner. Trace can do whatever he wants to in this space. I can do whatever I want to in this space. Andy Hoffman can do whatever he wants to in this space. Tone Bays can do what Tone Bays doesn't like anything to do with altcoins, okay? Do I agree with Tone all the time? No, Tone is a great guy. Tone is a great guy. Hanging out, seeing him yesterday. He was so busy yesterday. Thank you, Tone Bays, for putting on that event, okay? So, people love to live vicariously through these characters in the crypto world or whatever. No, come on, go your own way, people. Get your own Bitcoin, do it your own way, and that's being a true Bitcoiner. When you can say, "This dude's my friend. I'm hanging out with this dude, this guy," and really get to know the people. People just love the scapegoat. And if Trace says something controversial, all of a sudden Trace is the devil. He's the devil. I mean, for what some people are saying out there, it's unbelievable. Dude, if you don't have 1 Bitcoin and you're angry that Trace got a lot of Bitcoin and I don't fully know what happened yesterday, okay? I wasn't handed any pieces of paper. I know Trace came on my show, okay? And Trace has a lot of Bitcoin. There's no doubt about that. So when he's talking about keeping things private, and he said the North Korean thing yesterday. By the way, the person who asked that question, dude, you started a whole big thing, didn't you, Roman Q? And we'll talk about that yesterday. But I've said this many times. If you're going to be part of living in the Bitcoin overlay, is that, and understanding what Bitcoin is freedom. What that really means is that you can be friends with whoever you want to. You can say whatever. You don't have to worry about being canceled. Trace Mayer doesn't worry about being canceled. If you want to cancel, go ahead. Try to cancel him. Try to cancel me. Try to cancel American HODL. American HODL is on the show or whatever. And I understand Giacomo is. It appears he's a little angry, or I love Giacomo too. I love Giacomo too, and I think we'll see what's going on here. It's really interesting. As all of you have known all along, these crypto dividends. I said Trace is always he knows that you get these things for free and then you sell them, and I have always left it at that. This is a great way to become a Bitcoin holder. You get the crypto dividends for free, and then you sell them for Bitcoin. Now, all of you know, I have said many times that buying this stuff is insane. And I have said that the entity that is buying it is insane. I don't agree with that. So if that ends up being Trace, if Trace ends up being the guy that bought up all the MWC, I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. I don't think that is a good idea. But Trace got a lot of Bitcoin, so he's going to do what he's going to do. So the person with the attitude that said Rock Ape is thinking the right way. He's got the positivity here. is Trace the MWC whale buying everyone's bag? If yes, thanks, Trace, for the free Bitcoin. Yes, Trace, if you bought all everybody's bag, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Now, there's a little more to this. Obviously, if he was handing out things yesterday, that we could talk about that later. I don't know. I woke up at 1 in the afternoon today, people. What a lifestyle. That's the Bitcoin overlay, where you could go travel Vegas, Los Angeles, wake up at 1 in the afternoon, baby. I'm living it, baby. I am living it, and I'm going to go running, and it'll feel nice to eat. But okay, let's see. Surfer Jim, there's a guy I met yesterday. Hopefully, you get Trace back on for his take. Yeah, I mean that's the best thing. Let's get the take from the horse's mouth. Let's see what he's saying. Let's see what he's saying. Roman Q says, all I wanted to know, isn't it worth paying a bit more from an ATM? Roman Q, you started. This is the thing. This is why you guys should be in motion. Roman Q, his little innocent question has sparked tremendous controversy. So that's why I say be in motion, people. If you just do, instead of complaining and screaming and do something, ask questions, do things. You never know what your little spark is going to start. What a world, the butterfly effect, right, people? The butterfly effect. You can make a huge difference in this world. And that question has made a huge difference in this world. Oh man, what an adventure to see. Bitcoin to the Moon says, Bitcoin Meister brings the positivity and in motion the Bitcoin. Strong hand, pound that like button. Dude, Bitcoin to the Moon, it's great. And, I met you in person too, man. And you have sent me shirts over time. You give it out, it comes back to you. And thanks, guys. Thanks all the people who give me shirts. I got this one from my buddy up in Philadelphia when he put on the event in 2018, which was a great event. And thanks for clothing me, all my fans out there. I love these shirts. I got even more shirts now. I got new running shirts. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. I can say I'm not going to read a comment in there. Someone says someone has a Litecoin question. It's just unbelievable that some people still don't get the show. All right, but that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, I'm not going to say what the dude said. And here we go. Here's a quote. I forgot who said this. Okay, I'm sorry. It's a great. I'm sure a lot of people have said stuff like that. Who said this? But I wrote this down before all this drama and all this stuff started. You can't be angry and curious at the same time. How about that, people? So for all the people getting angry, it stifles your curiosity. It stifles your progress. So if you ever get angry, get over it. And then because curiosity brings so much into your life. It brings learning into your life. It makes you a better person. So you can't be angry and curious at the same time. I wish I knew who said that. I wish I did. That's an awesome one. And so, yeah, yesterday's video, American Hodl showed his face. For all you fancy sets and graphics people who get off, we know, oh, I finally saw him. And then there are all these people ripping on him and stuff. He's a big dude. He's like 6'1". You wouldn't say that to his face. All you Twitter warriors out there, I guarantee it. And he's got a good perspective on it. He's joking around. He's a big guy. I mean, that's it. But people are ripping on, oh, you're ugly, or whatever they're saying. He's got a wife and a kid, and he's a great guy. He's a great guy. So, I mean, people talk big. They try to bring people down. Give him credit. He showed his face. You guys that are ripping on him on Twitter, show your face. No. But thing here for all you people, I've talked about the MWC crypto dividend for some time, and now it's obviously what happened yesterday. It's pretty big news, and there's one thing that you cannot deny here, people. You cannot deny it. When I say you get Bitcoin insider information here, you do. There's no denying it. You all known about this MWC thing for a while, and now everybody knows about it. And perhaps Trace Bear, that he was buying it the whole time or something like that. For all we know here, and you guys knew about it for so long, and so many of you did the right thing, and just know, you get something for free, you turn it into Bitcoin, okay? And it's a great. So many people don't know about the crypto dividend aspect of Bitcoin, but you guys do. And there's no denying. And you get the insight, you get the first pictures of American Hodl, if that's really insider information for you. But going back to this crypto dividend stuff, it's really insider information. And now it's big controversy, that trade. You've known about MWC for a while. You've known about this for so long on this show, man. since last freaking year. So that's a positive thing you guys can derive from spending your time playing these shows at 2x and everything. It's more than my sayings that I say at the beginning of the show. It's real, man. You get the insider information here, and no fancy sensor graphics. You're not going to see. You're not gonna be entertained with guys saying Litecoin to 1 million. No, you're not gonna get that here. You're gonna get real stuff. All right. So let's move on here. And yeah, I got over 1,600 videos at disruptmeister.com. If you have the time to watch and learn from the archives, I can tell you that you will. All right, so we did really get Bitcoin in there. So all you guys who only watch this for Beyond Bitcoin stuff, fast forward through that. Now you're at the Russia trying to help Bernie. Oh, what's going on? It's such a joke, dude. And I don't like Bernie Sanders or anything like that, okay? But the government or someone says some aspect of the government has found out that some Russian entities are doing something where they like Bernie and maybe they're buying more ads on Facebook. It's ridiculous. It's not influencing people. People are so Russia crazy. I mean, Putin must be laughing his butt off. He can do one little thing and it triggers people inside the government. And so the mainstream liberal government worker or whatever doesn't like Bernie Sanders. They don't like the president. They don't like Bernie Sanders. I don't know who they like, but if they got a chance to do Russia FUD and the mainstream media, they are going to go with this Russia FUD. I can't believe anyone gets triggered by this stuff anymore. It's such a joke. Who cares? Go ahead, Putin. Buy ads on Facebook. Make us richer, but bring money into our economy. Russia is nothing. How many times do I have to say this? Russia is nothing. The Russians want to move to Israel. They move to Israel. They pretend to be Jewish and move to Israel. What's that say? They don't even like Jewish people. And they're Russians trying to do this. I've talked about this on the show so many times. But they must be getting a kick out of this. I mean, they really must be getting a kick out of this. So Bernie Sanders briefed by U.S. officials that Russia is trying to help his presidential campaign. Then you see on Twitter, they're like, Bernie knew. And he looks like a hypocrite too, because he did, say that Russia was trying to help Russia. And he's like, no, if I become president, Russia will never be able to interfere again. Interfere? What's interfere? They've done nothing. They buy ads on Facebook or something. Who cares? It's just an election. I think they should be able to buy. I think they should be able to do anything they want to in our election. The United States of America spends billions interfering in every single election. Who cares? Let people think from themselves. Personal responsibility is new counterculture. I don't see how they can get tricked by Russians. You're like, well, no, I like Trump now. I'm no longer a communist. I like Trump because Russia bought an ad, paid Mark Zuckerberg 2 cents for an ad that I never saw. I mean, it's so ridiculous. These people wasting their time worrying about Russia and just go, oh my God, Russia. They are so weak. The United States of America is the greatest country in the history of mankind, most powerful, most wealthiest. They can do nothing to change anything here. Well, they can launch a nuke, but they're not going to do that. Okay, they don't want the world, they're not that crazy. They still have those things, but supposedly those are falling apart too. It is wacky and wild, but it is kind of funny that now there's this infighting for the people that were calling Trump a Russian slave or whatever. Now they're calling their own, and it just it's a waste of your times if you're a liberal, if you're a conservative or whatever. And some people are just using it as it's such a team sport to them, this Democrat versus Republican thing, that they know it's fake and they're just putting it out there. They're saying it more and more and more. But there's Twitter threads saying Bernie knew. It's popping up. I look at it, but it's just it's a waste of my time. I shouldn't even spent 1 second on it. But I wanted to put it out there. Oh, it's called democratic socialism. Democratic socialism. No, you've always been a communist, dude. Don't hide from it. Don't try to bring out your Jewish roots too, because you're a self-hating Jew. You're the worst of the self-hating Jews, Bernie. But hey, do it. I'm gonna keep it positive. Keep on doing what you're doing there, Bernie. There'll be riots in Milwaukee, probably. That'll be fun for the dudes in Milwaukee. We'll see what happens. Crypto Angels sent so that's drama. That's a waste. That's a soap opera. It's a soap opera, guys. We have drama in the crypto space too, and I was talking about this. So don't waste your time on any of the drama. I just gave you a nice summary and my thing on it. Crypto Angels, who was great to hang out in Long Beach. Check him out on Twitter, Crypto Angels. Check him out on YouTube. He says, smash that like button. He sent $2 in the super chat. Roman Q said, I never thought it was possible, but Putin is a better troll than Udi. Pound that like button. That is great. He is. Putin is a better. And I don't like Putin at all. He doesn't like. I can tell you, he doesn't like my people very much. My religion. He's no fan of that stuff. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what he's exactly. I'm not scapegoating anyone. He's no fan of Adam Meister, probably. Let's just say that. But it is funny what he's doing here to make people paranoid. My Lord. And it's probably not even him. It's probably like a bunch of 18-year-olds now in Russia that are like, hey, man, we stole some we scammed some Bitcoin from some people. And now we're going to buy some ads on Facebook and Twitter and just try to freak these Americans out even more. It really could be. It really could be just a bunch of kids in Russia or Ukraine or Eastern Europe that are just doing all these buys, and it triggers something, and some government bureaucrat is like, oh, look, there's more interference. Let's leak it to our media friends so they can hurt the people in politics we don't like. It's so funny. And that there are people, there are liberals in America and conservatives that are just spending smart people who are like trying to analyze. Oh, it's horrible that Russia is interfering in their election. Dudes, people don't. It's an election. It's not like you're having a kid or something like that. It's not like you've produced a new human being. It's funny. Yesterday was the caucus in Nevada. Only thing I saw were big Tom Steyer ads that he wasted money on. And that's great for him. Let the billionaire contribute to the economy. Pound that like button. And I heard Bernie won. I don't even know much about it yet. I don't care. Okay. Steel Horse said, being a pretty frugal guy, do you buy expensive running shoes? Yes. And I have mentioned that before. I do buy the best ASICs. But I do much research. I buy them from Amazon or eBay, like the older models of the best ones. There are people who, I guess, have access to shoe stores, to the display ones that no one, like someone might have tried on once or something. And so they're brand new. And this is a tip for people who want to spend on shoes. Instead of going out to the mall or whatever and spending $150, $180 for these ASICs, get the older model that was displayed somewhere already that doesn't come in the box. Or you can buy it from China. That's kind of risky, though. So yeah, I get mine for like $60 and stuff. But I buy the best ones. I buy the best ones. And sometimes it just depends. Sometimes it's close to $80 or $90 or whatever. But you gotta get the best shoes for your feet. Or if you damage your feet, then you can damage your legs. And as you get older, that's bad. That's really bad. You don't want to have bad legs. So I buy the best running shoes possible. ASICS Nimbus Gel. They're called ASICS Nimbus Gel, if you want to know. And that's what I wear. Once they get old, those become my regular shoes. So if you saw me yesterday, that's what I was wearing, but those aren't the ones I run with anymore. I've shown them before. Pound that like button. Okay, so we're talking about Russia and Bernie. I just think it's a funny joke now. And Trump and Russia and anybody in Russia. Okay, we spent a lot of time on that. Moving on. This is from Web Dev Mason. Oh, it's getting dark outside now, man. I'm really falling behind. This might become a longer than 95-hour fast. But hey, this is conviction. I do a new show here every day, and I had to get the Beyond one in. So the Web Dev Mason says, the glee with which some people convulse when an overhyped company flounders or fails, not for fraud or mismanagement, but because it was trying something very hard, fumbled a launch, or ran too long on a bad assumption, speaks volumes. I agree. There are so many people out there that sees a corporation that tried to do something and they weren't corrupt at all, but they failed. And then they're like, ha ha, you see, down with that corporation. And that's what people have been wishing upon Tesla, but they haven't gotten that. So I agree. It speaks about volumes about the people that have to rip on a ha ha, I see. They tried something new. They tried to innovate and they failed, and they're failures and I'm not. Not exactly, dude. Keep it positive. Conservative economics. This is a term that is being used that Yaron Brook talks about on the show, that Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri is and some other dudes are are putting out there that Trump really has brought out to the people, that people have interpreted. They've come up, what Trump has done. He wants, interfering with economics as a liberal almost would, to help the people, to help the working class. And Oren Cass has a National Review article about it, the return of conservative economics. And now the Trump has, let's forget about the Trump part of it, okay? But because people have built on the atmosphere that Trump has created as conservatives, they're worried about income inequality now. And I have said this on the show, that's just a way to get people angry and to get people jealous. So what if someone's making more money than you, okay? So what if someone's a trillionaire and you're not? You fix yourself. You move to a better opportunity. You find a better opportunity. But this conservative economics is about bringing up income inequality and saying that the government needs to make things more fair for the working class. And they have like a religious aspect to it, a morality. It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing that people, and Tucker Carlson has talked about this, people shouldn't have to leave their towns. If the one business in the town goes out of business, then we should find a way to support. The government should prop up that business. The government should bring new businesses, should bring new opportunities there. No, this is like Bernie Sanders. It sounds like Bernie Sanders. It's management of the government. So the conservative economics that Oren Cass is talking about, that Josh Hawley is talking about, that Yaron Brook is ripping on in this video. Yaron Brook is absolutely right. It's Bernie Sanders type of stuff. It's interfering. So you got to call it both ways. If the conservatives are doing this income inequality thing, then call it out. And same thing with I don't believe in anyone doing it. All right, maybe I should turn the light on in here. I don't know. What's it look like? I hate that light. Let me see something here. What's that? Oh God, no. Oh God. Look at me. You see, it gives this white glare to my face. I'm not handling that. I'm not handling that. Look at that. Now that's better. Yeah, fancy set. Even Adam's getting in the fancy sets of graphics. All right, yeah. Pound that like button. A lot of you've been pounding. Keep on asking questions. Yeah, I do want to run soon, but okay, and eat soon. Do my cold shower. Every day that I eat, I do a cold shower. Robert Hardbeck's in there. He says Saucony. Yeah, we were talking about the other day, Robert, in person. You go. There are a lot of good shoes. It's you gotta figure it out on your own. Once you figure out which running shoe is for you, then you can order it online over and over again and save a lot of money. So conservative economics. That's a new trend that you're going to hear about. Not down with it. Don't let the government interfering bad on any level. So a lot of you guys know that Yuval Noah Harari, he's a controversial figure. I do learn a lot. I love that concept of, people believe in certain stories. I do not agree with him on he's kind of got a down outlook sometimes. Like, the climate change is going to ruin everything. He spoke on a panel at Davos. Ooh, conspiratorial Davos. It's linked to below. You can watch the whole thing. Now, I didn't like this video at all. I'm sharing it because the Glenn Wheel guy is there. And actually, Vitalik Buterin likes Glenn Wheel. And they have that movement, the radical markets movement, which I'm against. But the panel is so freaked out about climate change, okay? That they're obsessed with labor unions and making sure that AI doesn't get rid of labor unions. And they don't realize that AI is going to make work so much easier for people, okay? And people can be paid in ways other than money, too. They're going to be able to be compensated in so many ways. The working man has had to work so physical labor, picking corn and cotton and everything. Now, you're going to be able, because of AI, regular people are going to have to teach the AI too. So some people are going to be paid money just to sit at their house all day and click on things. I mean, this is the golden age we are entering. But they're worried about the unions and the working man won't be able to get jobs anymore. They want to use force to regulate AI, to stifle innovation. and they don't get this is such an exciting time. They're being party poopers. And I get a lot of them are intertwined with unions and everything. I get it. You got to look out for your friends. I mean, do what you're going to do. This is where the big boys play. But these people will be paid better than hard labor people, okay? But they're paranoid that everyone's going to be taken advantage of it because of AI. That we're not going to have the old labor union jobs anymore. So clearly, it's all going to be people being ripped off. No. Corporations are going to want to pay people for what they can do. Okay, let's see how it happens. Not try to stifle it before it happens. But Yuval Noah Harari, I mean, he's not as extreme as some of these people. But watch it yourself. Just get the vibe. It's a very interesting vibe that you get from this. Like, why are you guys so darn worried? We're entering a golden age. I mean, I guess their jobs depend on unions or something. And one of them's a bureaucrat from Brussels. They just don't get. I mean, their whole life is about government interference, and when they see something so revolutionary, that's what they think they got to do. Let's get a government You can still have your unions in the time of AI. Okay, go ahead, try to unionize, but they want the government to force union. Okay, so I am loving it, dudes. I am loving this AI. Even from this panel, which is a bunch of paranoid people, I just started thinking to myself, man, just people that aren't that intelligent are going to be able to sit in these cushy jobs at their houses and just click on things to teach the AI. That's great. Maybe it'll open the door for people. Jordan Peterson says people under 85 IQ can't even work real jobs. But maybe I see it that maybe this AI economy, they'll be able to do some things to teach the AI. Okay, maybe I got a positive outlook. The more technology that has come to this world, the better lives that we've had. So I think it can improve for all levels of people. Roman Q says, and so watch it yourself, guys. It's very interesting. No secret Davos. It's all out there. I mean, they're not hiding anything. Did you have an interesting Beyond Bitcoin conversation at Unconfiscatable? I mean, I talked to some people about a lot of different things at Unconfiscatable. This is Beyond Bitcoin. This is the Beyond Bitcoin conversation. But I talked to people about other subject matters other than Bitcoin. There were people asking me about women. Obviously, you should get married. They see there's some traditional people. Someone brought that up to me. No. And I said again, I'd love to have a son one day, but I don't want to have a wife. I've had plenty of women in the day and everything like that. And I said, in this golden age we're going to enter, maybe I will be able. And I said, I'm in no rush. I said I could be like Anna Nicole Smith's husband. He was 90 when he bought her. And so I'm in no rush to do it and everything. And the guy said, yeah, I think I've heard you mention that on the show before, Adam. So, all right. What was the male-female ratio at Unconfiscatable, says Rock Ape. Well, if you watched yesterday's show, I think I said that it was higher than usual. It might have been 10% women instead of 5% women. And there was who was there wearing 3 different outfits, going from one outfit to another. The hostess of the I don't really know her at all. Tone's friend. I don't know her at all. She's a pretty woman, and she was there, and she was in 3 different outfits. Had to switch outfits 3 times, I guess. You know how it is. So and there were some thirsty guys there. Definitely some thirsty dudes, of course. But there were some great women there too. And there were a lot of great women there. Speaking of women too, at a great women, Joanne Cantu, I met at on Thursday. I said I was going to mention her on Sunday, but I'm really going to mention her on Monday. But she's in motion. She owns saltgirlclothing.com. What an interesting person. She's Jones. I'll call her Jones Act Joanne. The Jones Act, I think some of you know. It complicates imports into it complicates getting materials into Hawaii, okay, and Alaska. And so she goes on a boat. She's one of the few women on a boat, a huge boat that brings shipping containers full of everything you can imagine from California to Hawaii, okay? And if there was no Jones Act, this would not exist. So on her journey, before she goes on her journey, she downloads a bunch of my videos and she watches them. She's only been in the Bitcoin since October, but she's really into it. And so I said, I'll give you a plug because you want to incorporate Bitcoin into your business. So it's linked to below. I'll bring her up again. But what an interesting, you meet so many interesting people. A woman who is on one of these huge shipping containers. She says, I said, what's the percentage of women? Very few, lower than Bitcoin. It's lower than Bitcoin. But good for her. She gets to go back from California to Hawaii like often. It's a very good route. Apparently, all the dudes on these big shipping ships that they want to be on that route. It's fun. I mean, you can imagine California to Honolulu must be lots of good scenery there. And I'm glad she's learning about Bitcoin on the way over. And I said I'd give her a plug. She's in motion. Pound that like button. Again, you don't need beautiful women to make a conference great. Okay, you don't need that. It was a great time on Saturday. And of course, at the bar afterwards, the bartendresses in Las Vegas, they all dress like strippers. I assume they are all strippers. It might as well be a strip joint. The amount of nudity that's being shown. And it was called the Nerd. It's not a strip joint. It was just it's a place where people hang. But my lord, were those women dressed like strippers? Can't you all the 80%ers here that buy the altcoins because the strippers tell them to? They would have loved the scenes at the what was it, the scammies yesterday at the Nerd. They would love that stuff. Okay. Don't value wealth in Bitcoin, not women. Value wealth in Bitcoin. All right, we talked about ThinkSpot. Real quick, you heard me. I got invited to ThinkSpot. It's not too cool right now. It's just like a blog, and James Altucher is on it, and he uses his old material. So if everyone is going to bring their old material that you can get other places, and it's not an exclusive spot, then why would anyone want to go to ThinkSpot? Now, I think some people are creating original material with it, but I'm just giving you my review real quick. And I gave it the other day also when I was, I was talking about how James Altucher basically admitted that all those he knew all those videos he was making about cryptocurrency were annoying. And then he became depressed when people started hating him. But I mean, this is where the big boys play. I mean, when you're making yourself, admitting that you're making yourself look like a scammer just to get attention, and that's what he admitted. I mean, you get what you paid for there, dude. But so he's on ThinkSpot. I don't know. Jordan Peterson's obviously been sick lately, so he has a drug addiction problem that he's trying to get off of. So maybe ThinkSpot's not being maintained very well. It's still in beta. So some others of you, it's not that great right now. We'll see how it progresses. But people wanted reviews of it. There's your review. Okay. I talked about the 95-hour fast. I talked about Joanne there and Salt Girl Clothing. I do want to mention, just putting this out there, there could be more YouTube issues for Bitcoiners, getting random strikes here and there. The algorithm, there's some stuff going on, I can tell. So don't go crazy. They're not picking on the Bitcoiners. There's just, the algorithm is on the loose again, and it's picking up certain words of certain people. This is what you get on YouTube. This is what you get with algorithms. This is why they got to be trained better by people in the future in the golden age. Okay, there's a positive take on it. So should Bloomberg exist? That was something that I heard. Someone legitimately asked him that at a debate. Should he exist? That's pretty sickening. I mean, you might not like him, but should he be destroyed because he's a billionaire? I mean, billionaires are people too, okay? And here's a related article, And so if Bloomberg shouldn't exist because he's rich, well, then what is really rich? And are you rich? And then should you not exist because you're rich? So let's get into this right now. This is from Eric Voorhees. Nearly everyone in the U.S. that rails against the 1% and wants to tax the F out of them doesn't realize that they themselves are actually the 1%. Why shouldn't government take 50% of their $32,000 salary and redistribute it to those who truly need it? All right, so what's he referring to? If you make over $32,000, you are part of the world 1% in terms of salary. Okay, I know that might be shocking, but it's true. Now, he was quoting Michael Novogratz, who actually got it a little wrong. Michael Novogratz said the average income of the global 1% is $32,000 a year. Think about that. That's wrong. I thought that sounded a little weird. So I did more research and I found a tweet and a link about it. He says, this guy says, you're misquoting Investopedia. $32,000 is the lower bound of the 1%, not average. Okay, and that is a big difference, which could easily be a 10x to 100x that. The average could be easily a 10x to 100x that, yes. So don't care about the average. Care about that if the lower bound of the 1% of the world is 32%. If you make over 32%, your salary is one of the 1% highest in the world, okay? But it gets real high eventually in that 1%. Another lower bound for the 1% is a $770,000 net worth for the world. Again, that's wealth. If you have over $770,000 in wealth, if you got a nice big house in the United States, basically, you are one of the 1% of the rich of the world. So with all that in mind, and some of those people are supporters of, canceling Bloomberg and all these tax schemes. Should obviously I'm one of them. I mean, most people in America are 1% either in salary or holdings in terms of wealth holdings in terms compared to people in the world. Should we exist? Should we exist? Should everything be taken away? Should we be taxed at 50%? So my money can be redistributed to somebody in Somalia? Does that sound good? That's a perspective you should take on this. I want to go back to Yaron Brook real quick. If you watch Yaron Brook's videos, he brings it back. You could simply distill him to this. Be proud of success. And in America, everyone, that was the vibe of America once, that everyone strived to be great. And if you achieve success, you were proud of it. Now we've got so many people out there with these negative attitudes saying you should be canceled if you're successful. You shouldn't exist. You should be guilty for being successful and productive. You should be a victim. Hey, man, personal responsibility is a new counterculture. Learn positivity, okay? Learn how it was in the old days. Take personal responsibility and be proud again and be productive and be in motion again. Don't fall into this trap that's mainstream culture now. It used to be what Yaron Brook talks about, being the stuff that Yaron Brook, he gets vilified for the stuff that he says that, yeah, people should try to make a lot of money. What is wrong with trying to make a lot of money? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being successful? It's a way of measuring your success. Okay, Los Angeles days. When I wake up early in the morning, so many days in LA, you're like, why is it? It's kind of gray out there. It's 6:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning. It's gray. Oh, I'm worried it's going to rain. And then you get back from synagogue and you start to prepare for your run, and still it's 8 o'clock, and it's still a little dark, and it's going to be cold today maybe because it's gloomy. Don't fall for it, people. Put on that short sleeve shirt, okay? Put on those sunglasses. It gets sunny. That gloom gets you. Then all of a sudden you're running at 9:30 in the afternoon. The sun is in the morning. It's pounding down on you. It's light. It's beautiful. It's LA. Don't fall for it. This is sunny Southern California. Sure, once in a while it might rain, but most mornings it kind of starts out gloomy in the winter, quote unquote. And then bam, it's sunny. You're happy. You're glad you're not wearing long sleeves because you're sweating with the short sleeves on. So that's a little tip for you and a little bit of what I see in the morning, my mornings here. Something that you got to get used to. It does start off a little gloomy sometimes, and it might even be wet from the evening before, some dew. Don't think it's going to rain. It's not going to rain. It's going to be sunny real soon, dudes, which is very positive, keeps you in a good attitude. All right. Okay, I'm going to have to skip this. We'll talk about children being stuck in government schools next time. That's linked to below, though. And now we're going to go back to Aaron Hoffman. Aaron Hoffman. I've got all these complicated name people I talk about, but I hope you really read their stuff. Summation.net is his blog. I mentioned before, another good story there. Why specific positive feedback is so important. So he gets into like the traditional office world here with this. If you're a manager, this will probably help you, or if you're a worker. But what I take away from this is this quote. I really like this. Positivity is a superpower. There is something special about positivity. It's the fuel that allows a small group of people to believe they can create something new and change the world as they do it. Positivity is inherent in the yes and mentality that motivates others to keep getting better. It's a superpower. Positive feedback is so important because it captures this power and combines it with tangible feedback to help employees and the company as a whole grow. Use it often. Okay, so he gave a little company tip out there, but hey, keep it on the pot. I really like that. I do really like that. And so read the article. Positivity is a superpower, and that's what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. So I'm learning that more and more every day. You learn something every day. Try to learn something every day at least. And some of you are like, well, that's so basic, isn't it? No, I don't think it is that basic. Most people skip that. They become negative Nellies and scapegoaters and everything. That's the default, it says for now. You got to work for positivity. I think you got to work for it a little bit. I guess it's easy just to give up. It's easier to give up than to be in an emotion. Okay, and I wanted to give just a little insight in my system here. When I'm in LA, since these guys need a 10th guy for the minion a lot, I'm getting up early, or 6:30, and I love to get it. I mentioned this on the show before. You are much more productive when you get up early. Okay, you can do a lot more in the morning. And so the synagogue stuff in the morning, being the 10th guy in the minion, that's a real good trick. It helps them up and it helps me out because I'm up. I'm back here before 8 a.m. I'm ready to run. Ready to check the internet and be back on East Coast time because West Coast we're behind. And that's kind of a little bit of a disadvantage in many ways. And I've been able to do earlier shows here, which I think a lot of you appreciate, instead of me doing them in the middle of the night in mountain time. So there's a little tip. That's part of my schedule here on the West Coast. And I really I hope I can implement it in other places. I've sort of done it, but it's the helping up the guys at the synagogue is the spark that gets me going. That's the thing that has altered the system here a little bit. And I really do wish that my system could be like get up at 6:30 in the morning every day. It's hard. It's not hard, but it has made me more productive, and I'm having fun. So that's my little tip of the day. Get up at 6:30 in the morning. Rock Ape says, I'm a truck driver with 1.3 billion Satoshis. Am I a 1%er? Yeah, you probably are. I can't do the math in my head. Nothing wrong with being a 1%er, dude. Pound that like button. Are schools teaching personal responsibility yet? No, they're not. I think it's getting worse and worse. And we'll talk about schools in the next show because I've run out of time. All right, it's dark in here. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video, check out the links below, pound that like and bang that bell button. I'll say hi to you guys real quick in chat before I get out of here. Definitely check out disruptmeister.com and TechVault to see all this wildness that's been going on lately. See ya.